I am going to speak about Vedas. The word Veda is derived from Vidvijnane, Vidasattayam and Vidvicharane. The entire meaning of Veda is knowledge. What's knowledge? Knowledge is the comprehensiveness of Brahma. Brahmam Satyam. Prakriti Mithya. Brahma means Adi Brahma. That means the first life force, the origin of life. Brihattattvad, Brahmanattvad, Brahma teacher. Cosmos is the English word for Brahma. That means universe. The universal knowledge is Veda. Vedas are classified in four by Vyasa or Krishnadvaipayana or Bhagavan Badadayana. In certain respects, Veda is the first poetry. The ancient Indians who settled at the bank of Indus created Vedas. The first Veda is Rig Veda. The second one is Yajur Veda, and then Sama Veda and Atharva Veda. Rig Veda is the poetry dealing with the internal as well as the external life of all creatures, not only the human beings. The ancient Aryans were peasants. They believed in Indra. Indra was the supreme god of the Aryans. He is the god of gods. He is also the god of rain. Rain is absolutely necessary for the agriculture. They were agriculturists. Rain is must for agriculture. If the rain has to fall, the rainy clouds must be stand still, but the wind blows it away. And therefore, the wind is the enemy or foe of rain clouds. The ancient Aryans, their fancy was that the wind is an Asura. There were two classes, Asuras and Suras. The interior meaning of Sura means drunkard. Asura means non-drunkard. Wind is for them Asura. They called him Vritra. When Vritra strikes, the winds fly away. And therefore, the earth will not get rain. To kill Indra, they worship, they kill Vritra, not Indra, sorry, Vritra. They worship Indra to appear and kill the Asura, Vritra. The praising of Indra is the main part of Rig Veda. If no rain, the earth will not prosper. The Aryans sowed seeds with prayers. They were sowing seeds with the prayer, Behuvannam Prajayatam. They believed all creatures are equal. The life of man is the same of the life of even an ant. All creatures are created by God. In the eye of God, all creatures are equal. No difference between human beings and birds or animals. They worshipped both animate and inanimate things. That was the macro perspective of the Aryans. They saw the whole world as one. No difference between human beings and the smallest creature, even the microbe of the earth. These Vedas have mantras. Mantras are called samhitas. Then the Rigveda has given emphasis to work. Work means this. We should work always. The Buddhism also give importance to work. When Buddha is going to Nirvana, his main disciple, Ananda, comes to him and asks him, "Oh Guru, what have you to tell before you die?" Then he works a strive hard. Before Buddhism, Rigveda was flourished and spread all over the world. They had given importance to karma. Karma means deed or work. Man must work. Work is the main motto of all beings. But nowadays, people are refraining from work. They do not have to set. Setting is the stepping stone to success. And then Yajurveda and Samaveda and Atharva Vedas are taken birth here. The interpretation of Vedas are called Brahmanas and Upanishads and Aranyas. Brahmanas and Aranyas and Upanishads give importance to the gist of Vedas. Upanishads are the real interpretations of Vedas. Each Veda has its own Upanishads. In those days, both women and men were equal. But later, Vaivasada Manu, who wrote the Manusmriti, relegated the women to secondary level. Thus they became the servants of manfolk. In ancient days, especially in Vedic days, Vedic periods, there were many women who were brahmacharis. That means celibates. They took part in discussions, debates, and panel discussions also. Some of the greatest brahmacharinis were Gargi, Indrani, Lobamudra, Kadru, Savitri. They created Upanishads too. They had the same position enjoyed by the men. Manusmriti relegated them. But nowadays, people are going to the Vedic period to know the force of life, the meaning of life. If you want to know what literature is, what culture is, we have to go through Vedas. Vedas are the treasure house of knowledge. All Vedas and Upanishads, Aranyas, Brahmanas are all gold mines of knowledge. We are sitting on these gold mines without understanding the greatest treasure. What's culture? Culture, that is the entire aim of education. Culture is the sum total of life, especially the fundamental values of life held aloft through literature, arts, religion, and the social institutions such as marriage and family. Today, marriage, what marriage? Marriage is the union of true minds. In ancient days, there were many kinds of marriage systems. Udvaha, Parinaya, and Vivaha. But the modern people do not know the essence of family life. Suppose life is a bird. A bird has two wings. If the bird has to fly, it must work the two wings. Without one wing, a bird cannot fly. The life of bird, I mean, the two wings of the bird, I mean, man and woman. Man and woman are the same sides, are the two sides of the same coin. They will handle each other and go forward, and then only life will flourish and enjoy. For it, we have to understand, especially we have a comprehensiveness, that is all-round knowledge of life. For it, we have to go to the ancient period. The Vedic period was the golden period of life. In those days, people had not to suffer. There were no poverty, no famine, but they kept for it the nature. They worshipped nature. Nature is, according to them, the mother, the great goddess. If we are refrained from nature, we will go to Ashraya. And then life will be a hellish one. To build a paradise on earth, we have to work hard. For it, we have to acknowledge what knowledge is. And moreover, enrich it, ennoble it. Both ennobling and enriching it, we have to know and enjoy the full meaning of life. For it, we have to go through, swim through, or immerse into the depth of the sea of life. The Vedas are the vast ocean, the deep ocean. Many jewels are there, jewels of knowledge are there. If we immerse into deeper and deeper to the sea of this knowledge, the great book of knowledge, the treasure of knowledge, that Veda, we have to earn more and more jewels, and the posterity will then prosper. We are the masters of this world. We must not exploit the treasure of the earth. We have to set it apart for the use of the coming generations, the posterities. For the prosperity of the posterity, we have to suffer. We have to dedicate what we have. We must have to take part in all the works. We have to set apart a portion of what we earned for the next generations. And therefore they must be educated well. What's education? Education, the word education is derived from two Greek words, E and Dukkha. E means the instinct. The educator must know the instincts of his disciple and try his best to bring it out. And then he will lead it. Dukkha means lead it. And therefore, the education means the teacher must know the inmost part of the heart and feeling of the student. Must know the talents. A genius teacher can understand the talent of his disciples, and then he will let it out and lead it to the good horizons of prosperity. This process is already in that now. We have to enlive it for the enlivenment and enlightenment and the empowerment of the coming generations. We have to understand the Vedic knowledge and will spread it. And we must pave the way for the coming generations. And then the coming generations will be prosperous. The earth will be a paradise. For it, they have the reading habits. The great books are the treasures. Reading habit must be created in every mind of children. Reading or literacy is the golden gateway to enter the paradise of great books created by great minds. And therefore, we must make our best to make our students understand what literacy is. Illiteracy is the greatest sin. To eradicate this sin from the life of the world, all people must be educated. They have to enjoy what literature and arts. Without art, we cannot make the life artistic world. And therefore, all children must be educated to enjoy literature and arts. For literature and arts, we have to go to the Vedas. There, the art and literature are in full bloom in every Veda, in every Aranyaka, in every Brahmana, and in every verse. And therefore, we have to work hard to make the coming generations to enjoy Vedas. Then people will know that all men are equal. And then the world will become one under one umbrella. Then there is no disparity, no inequality. All be brothers and sisters. And the world then will be a paradise, a heaven. For it, we have to go forward, handle each other, one to another. I am beginning the verse.